This podcast was produced by OAR FM Dunedin with support from New Zealand On Air.
Kia ora, and welcome to Diversity Dispatch, your local queer radio show. We're your hosts, Ricky
and Percy, and we're here to bring you the latest in Dunedin queer news, community projects, events, and more.
Sit back, relax, and tune into our fortnightly show hosted on OAR FM.
Let's get started.
Hey, Chookies.
Kia ora.
Hope everyone's nice and warm and enjoying the cold that is happening to us, even though it's offensive, really.
I mean, I don't hate it because my entire wardrobe is like exclusively winter items.
Honestly,
so I'm like, thank God.
Same. And like recently, I've been finding lots of really nice coats in like op shops and stuff. So yeah, I do like the cold because when I used to live in Wellington, it was always like shorts weather, but in winter it was never like so cold that I could wear like the really nice winter coats and stuff that I had.
Exactly, yeah.
So we have an episode planned for you today. So I was on TikTok recently and there was a creator who he basically had this like tournament, graphic together. So it's like basically like thing one would go against thing two and whichever one was voted would move on to the next round until you're left with one thing. And all of the things on that list were the most nightmarish sensory...
Ick?
Yeah. Like that type of stuff. So we thought today that we would go through the original list that this creator had, and then basically just discuss each of them and how we personally struggle with those if we do.
Awesome. Yeah. Before we get like right into that, for people who are listening who may not be super familiar with like disability terminology, so like sensory issues or like sensory sensitivities is a really, really common symptom of autism, but also other neurological disabilities and mental illnesses. And basically it's a really extreme reaction one way or another way to a particular like sensory input. So that might be like bright lights or a really loud buzzing noise or itchy fabric or feeling a tag on your clothing, things like that. And it becomes an issue when it gets to the point where you cannot focus on anything else, like it's taking up your entire time. Also, we're looking specifically at kind of like sensory ick things, so things that we actively try to avoid or like hate when it happens. But there are two kind of broad categories of sensory behavior, which is sensory avoidant and sensory seeking.
Yes.
And so there can be a lot of overlap. Like one person might do a behavior that's sensory seeking and the same behavior might be like a massive sensory avoidance thing for another person. So
exactly. So like obviously, with each neurodivergent person, there will be a difference in maybe any of their senses that may be stronger than others.
Yeah. So
obviously, like with that comes, there's more extremities that sort of hit on each one of the senses.
Yeah.
So should we get into it?
All right, let's go. So
the first one is chewing food, which for me is like if it's wet chewing, there's like people can, they're allowed to chew their food. You have to do that.
Yeah.
But it's like if there's like no attempt to keep your mouth closed.
Yeah.
Or like some people, even if their mouth is closed, I don't know how it happens.
No, neither.
I don't know how it happens. And there are some people in my family.
They've just got great mouth acoustics.
Yeah. Maybe it's the placement of the tongue or something.
Yeah.
I find that really difficult to deal with.
I'm kind of mine's very like situational. So like I don't mind the sound of chewing food if I'm also chewing food. But like the moment that I'm finished and I'm sitting and waiting for everybody else to finish, I cannot do it. Like I have to leave the table. I can't physically be in the room.
Because there was a phase that I went through in my family home where we would sit down for dinner and for whatever reason my family don't like to like play music or have a television playing.
Dead silence.
And then also because there's people in my family who chew that horrible way, I've since had to like put my foot down and be like, either I am wearing headphones, we're playing music, or I'm not eating with y'all.
No, exactly.
So like that's a massive struggle for me. Like if there's like ambient sound in the room, then it's not so bad. But if it's just that, I will pull out my eyes.
Yeah, no, it's...
and then the second one is cotton balls. I don't understand that one.
Oh, I absolutely... So I'm assuming they're referring to like just like the loose cotton balls, right? I hate them. I can't do them. They're too like I wouldn't say soft necessarily, but it's the same feeling as when you touch styrofoam.
Yeah.
Like
like the like crunching down on snow type.
A little bit, yeah. It's almost like it just like the nails on a chalkboard kind of makes you like shiver. Like I really hate
the grippy. Yeah.
Have you ever touched corn flour? Like the
Yes.
It feels like that to me when I touch cotton balls. Like no.
Is corn flour another ick?
Oh God, no. Yeah, exactly. My dad has proposed we ban it in the house outright because we hate it so much. Like me and my family all hate corn flour. It's awful.
Yeah, eliminate the things in your house that are causing you harm.
Exactly. The Marie Kondo. This does not bring me joy. I'm getting rid of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like honestly though. So then, because obviously this creator is American, they've got 100-degree days and 0-degree days, and I googled those, and if we convert them, 100 degrees is pretty much 37 degrees, which that sounds horrendous.
That's an oven.
Yeah, it's like I suppose it's potentially not as muggy over there as it is here. So here it's like there is no escape. And 0 degrees is like minus 15 or 17 or something. They both sound awful. However, you can escape the cold.
Yeah, you put more things on. What are you going to do when it's hot? Peel your skin off? Like,
exactly. like hot. You can't do anything. You can put on a fan. You can do air conditioning. Doesn't work.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like and I remember when I was like wearing a binder, especially. Holy crap, that sucked. Like it was and you'd get like sweat rashes from everything, and it was terrible.
So I'd imagine it'd be like wearing a thermal.
Yeah, it's the material's different, so it's like a thick mesh. So
I like breathable.
It does breathe pretty well if you get a well-made one, but still really bad, not great.
So we've got another one, which is bathroom smell, specifically after a movement. But this one, they preface that it's not your own.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's horrendous.
I wonder if there's like an evolutionary component to that. Like that somebody else or another potential predator has been in the area, and so it smells bad to you. Like I wonder if there's, I don't know.
Or if there's like obviously we're not meant to consume our own matters, but like in dire situations, it's probably better for your own as opposed to anyone else's, because it's like if it was to be, this is obviously a dire situation.
Yeah.
Like you would be exposing yourself to any diseases, any parasites, anything from others.
I'd rather die of starvation, to be honest.
I agree.
That's where I draw the line. I can't do it.
I'm not about to be found in the mountains. They're like, oh, look what he did.
Yeah, I don't want that to be my legacy.
Haha, like the headline in the newspaper being like, stinky boy found it in that. Yeah. So there's that one. Also, flickering lights.
I think it depends. If there's a noise as well, absolutely not. Flickering lights by themselves,
I think we should change it up a bit. I think we should rate each of these out of 10.
Yes.
Okay, so chewing food for me, because ambient noise can sort of mask it a bit, I'm just going to give it a 5.
Yeah, I was going to say 5 or 6.
Yeah, 5 or 6. The cotton balls, I'm going to give like a 1, not an issue.
Solid 8. Yeah.
And then hot days, I'm giving that a 9.
Oh, me too. Absolutely the worst.
Yeah.
Bad.
Cold, I'm going to give that a 7, because like if I'm in bed and my room is cold and my hands are cold, issue. And normally I have like a heater where I can like turn it on from my phone, but for whatever reason I haven't like the new internet connection this year just won't allow me to do that, which is so annoying.
Dry cold, I will say 1, probably even 0. Wet cold, definitely like 7. Yeah. Like I hate it especially like when you're like sweating and then your sweat cools down, and then you're just like in this like giant wet pocket of sweat.
You feel like you've just walked through a puddle, but you haven't.
Yeah, it's the worst.
And then obviously the bathroom smells. I'm just saying like a 4 or 5. Like it's yucky. It depends how bad. It depends if how close the bathroom is to the area that like if it's the living room or whatever. And there's a lot depending on that one.
Yeah.
So and then flickering lights.
Probably like a 1 or a 2, honestly. Like it's annoying, but it's not so annoying that it distracts me.
For me, it's probably like an 8. Interesting that we're getting so many mixed.
Yeah. Interestingly, just as like a little side note, what I find is really, really common is I find it difficult to be friends with very specific types of other autistic people because, and not because of any like fault of theirs or mine, but because our like sensory things just do not
overlap.
Match up. Yeah, so like one of us will be stimming, for example, and maybe that's making some noise, and the other person just cannot handle any noise input at all, and so like we can't even physically be in the room together, and then they just kind of the friendship kind of just crumbles.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah,
like I suppose like somebody who needs to have like ambient noise all the time versus somebody who enjoys the quiet. I'm somebody who needs ambient noise.
No, me too. I don't like listening to the sound of my body moving and breathing and stuff. Like it's weird. It freaks me out.
And then we have fire alarms.
Depends on the fire alarm.
They are offensive. Like the typical one in a house, it's offensive, but like I think it's the fright that does it, not necessarily the sound itself. But like if you live in an apartment building where it's literally like, even if you put in your headphones and turn it up, you're still hearing it. Like that one for me, that one's like an 8 or a 9.
Yeah, I'm going to count like sirens as well underneath that category because I feel like those, because I don't mind fire alarms because I feel like they don't happen often enough for me for them to be a problem. But like police sirens and stuff like that, I'm instantly awake. I like bolt up right in the bed.
Really?
Yeah, no, I really, I just really hate them, especially the ones that are like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Those suck. Bad.
Yeah. Also, if they're in the distance, like I can tell how far away they are, no issue at all. I'm just like, oh, the city's doing things.
Yeah.
Oh.
Someone's committed a crime.
Oh, run, girl, run.
Yeah.
Oh, they're coming. Yeah, so then we've got construction noise.
Oh my God, solid like 9. Hate it.
For me, it's literally like a 2. Because it's ambient.
Oh,
But like, on that note, like, there's been times where I've been living in houses where there will be renovations happening.
Yeah.
The actual sounds of renovations, for me, aren't so bad.
Yeah.
But human speech.
Fair enough.
Like, if I'm in bed trying to sleep and somebody's like, I don't know, drilling a wall or something, it's like, it'll be annoying, but I can definitely still get to sleep. But if people are talking, even if it's like if it's so quiet, my brain's like really like honed.
They're talking about you.
No, even if it's literally anything, my brain cannot ignore human speech.
Yeah, I'm like, I have to process it. I must know what's being said.
Exactly. It's just like, oh, that's awful. Which may have something to do with why I need ambient noise. Just like my brain needs something to process just to stay like comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, so interesting that we're on opposite ends of the spectrum with that one. Wet socks / clothes.
Bad. Awful. 10.
Wet socks, yeah, I'll give them like a 9.
Yeah, if I'm like walking around the house in socks and I step in something wet, like I'll actually cry.
Day ruined.
It does straight up ruin my day. I will change my socks. It's a whole routine.
And let's say even if you like dry your feet, it's not the same.
No, it's not the same.
And then we've also got fridge ice machine, which I don't understand.
Oh, so like the that's on. We don't really have those in New Zealand so much because they're fancy fridges, but they're the fridge that have the ice dispensers. We have one at our place. I don't love it. Like, it's very loud, but like, you know, it's
so it's like okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So I was wondering what the thing was there. Okay, well, I won't comment on that because I don't really have any experience with that. Bad perfume / intense. I would say like intense perfume.
Yeah.
I'm going to give that a 10.
Oh, see, I don't care. Perfume doesn't bother me so much, but like body odor, can't do that. Absolutely not.
So for me, perfume, if I'm in a situation where I, like, say if I'm at work or something, or I'm in a room and somebody with very overpowering perfume enters the room, migraine.
Yeah.
Like, almost immediately. Like, if I do not get out of that situation within 3 or 4 minutes, immediate headache. And if, like, it builds really quickly. So, like, I have a few major triggers for, like, my migraines. So they are fluorescent lights, strong perfumes, a third thing that I can't think of right now, but it will come back. And then the other one is just like fatigue, which just basically enhances the likelihood of all of those affecting me.
Yeah.
So we've got, the bad perfume. What was your one again? Yours was like 1 or 2.
Yeah, no, yeah, very low. I actually, I find that I tend to lean more towards sensory seeking rather than sensory avoidant. Like, I would rather have a bazillion things going on all at once.
I would too.
Than nothing.
But I would say that my strongest sense is probably like my nose. Like I have I have some like sort of superpowers connected to my sense of smell. Like my sense of smell and my memory are very like closely interlocked. So like there was this one time that I was in like Lush with a friend of mine, and he was like, "Oh, this smells really good. It smells really familiar." And then I was like, "Oh, can I give me a smell?" And I smelled it, and I was like, "Oh, that was like the flavor of a popsicle that was discontinued in like the early 2000s."
Yeah, I have that too. Like I'll walk into a room and be like, "This smells like when I was like in my aunt's house in the United States in 2011."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is that synesthesia? No.
No, but I think that it's probably closely related.
Maybe
I mean,
a type.
A lot of those types of things tend to be comorbid with autism anyway.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be shocked.
We should do an episode on that.
Yeah.
Well, we should get someone on.
Oh, yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was that one?
Overlapping talking is the next one.
Oh, that's horrendous. But if I'm not in a position to communicate or remove myself from the situation where I'm like, hey, would you guys mind taking turns?
Yeah.
Like, because I can do that, this isn't a massive issue. But if two people are trying to have my attention at the same time they're both talking, I'm literally just like biding my time until they both stop so I can be like, I didn't get any of that.
Yep, like everyone shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do overlapping talking if I'm not involved in the conversation because then it just becomes kind of background noise.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree. I can't do it if two people are trying to ask me for things at once. And I'm like, nope.
Or they're trying to tell me things and I'm like,
yeah.
Yeah. So I'd give that maybe like a 4, only because I can sort it out myself.
Yeah, 4 or 5.
Scratchy clothes.
See, this is, again, very autistic of me. What flavor of scratchy? Because, like...
I'm going to say wool jersey.
Oh, That's going to be like an 8 or a 9.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Actually, for me, it's probably more like a 7.
Or when you feel the tags of your clothing. I have to cut off the tags of all my clothes because I can't.
Oh, like, I get, like, tags that are on the back of the neck. There's, like, only a couple items of clothing that I have where it just, like, really sits wrong. And it just, like... I don't know if it's just me, like, my sensory stuff, like, overloading me, where I'm just like, I feel like my neck is itchy, or if my neck is actually, like, inflamed afterwards.
It's like, do you get the thing where, like, if you look at a bug, you can feel the bug on your skin later? Because I can't, like, watch videos of, like, ants and stuff, because I just feel like they're on my body. I'm like, ugh.
Kinda, yeah. I remember once there was a day where I saw lots of spiders, and then I went to sleep at night, and then I woke up, and then my brain was like, there's a spider in your bed. Even though there probably wasn't. And then I just sort of like reached out my finger in the dark, random spot on my bed, and then I felt like I'd touched like the abdomen of like a spider, and I was like, and then I like turned on the lights, I was looking for it, couldn't find it because I don't think it existed. Anyway, so scalding water.
I'm fine with that. I mean, I don't love it because it hurts, but like it doesn't bother me so much. Blisters are a big no-no for me though. Like I hate the look, the feel, the sound, the everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, just water by itself, nah, that's fine.
Because like on a scale from 1 to 10, how hot do you have your showers?
I used to have them a lot hotter, but then my hairdresser told me that it's really bad for my hair to have it like so hot. It also really dries out your skin.
Yeah.
So I started going a little bit lower down, and now it's kind of, I guess, like between warm and hot. Like still pretty warm, but
yeah. I mean, mine's sort of like probably mid. I feel like me, my temperature needs are very just like middle. Because like I can get too cold very easily, and I can get too warm very easily.
Yeah.
And then we've got wet cat food.
Solid 10.
Is it just the smell, the texture?
Literally everything about it.
Oh, and also the cat, like, eating it?
Yes. I used to work at a cattery and, like, dog kennel over a summer one time. I think it was, like, my first job. And, oh, my Lord, all of the food was wet because it's easier to monitor like cats' liquid intake when they eat wet food because they don't normally get enough water.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. But so I was like, okay, cool. You know, they're hydrated. Yay. But also I was like sitting there squeezing out like things of cat food and like crying because I was like, I can't do this.
They're all hydrated, but at what cost?
Exactly. Yeah.
So we've got another one, which is loud vehicles.
I don't like, you know, when the exhaust pipe thingy like backfires.
Yeah.
I can't do that because also, I don't know, like I'm an American. It sounds like a gun.
But also just like being stuck in fight or flight response, like loud noises. Like my nervous system takes a very long time to like settle.
Yeah.
I was seeing my therapist like years ago, and she asked me like, if you get a fright, how long does it take for your like heart rate to settle down? I was like, maybe like 5 minutes. And she's like, it should be like 10 seconds.
Oh,
and I was like, oh my God.
no.
I'm like, well, that makes so much sense why I get panic attacks and stuff, because obviously my nervous system doesn't settle. And if there's another thing and another thing, it all just sticks. Yeah,
I'm like that with balloons popping too.
Oh.
Like, one time my school did a prank where they filled the entire hallway with balloons. And I was like, cool, I'm just not gonna go down that hallway ever.
Yeah, that's
it was so bad.
We've got roughly 5 minutes left.
All right.
Let's get through them.
Okay.
Fluorescent lights, 10.
I'll say probably a 7.
Yeah. Tight clothing?
If it's form-fitting and it's, like, made to fit tightly, I don't care. It's fine.
Neither.
If it's tight and it's not supposed to be, probably like a 7.
Yeah.
But I don't hate it because it feels like a little hug, you know? Like,
yeah, exactly. Also, like me with clothing, when people are like, wear something comfortable, I feel comfortable in whatever I look nice in.
Exactly.
But also, like, me as an adult, I purchase clothes that fit me and look nice. So there's no really compromise nowadays. High wind.
No, that's fine with me. I actually really enjoy when there's like a big gust of wind and you can kind of lean against it. That's nice.
I don't like that. I know what you mean, though. Like, if it's one where you sort of struggle against it, I'm like, oh, I guess I'm working out.
Yeah.
Muggy air.
Solid 9.
I'm going to say 9, yeah.
Yeah, hate it.
Solid. Sticky hands.
Other people's are mine.
Let's do both.
Okay. Mine, hate it, probably a 7. Other people's, worse, probably a 9.
Yeah. Honestly, I agree. Like children with sticky hands, 10.
Oh, yeah. 11.
Yeah, that is the most offensive thing.
Yeah, because it's like you don't know what's been on there. They probably put their whole fist in their mouth like 2 minutes ago.
Literally.
Nasty.
Like, I wash my hands so many times a day.
Me too.
Like, it's like I recently purchased like a hand cream to keep in my jacket. 'Cause, like, I have some at home, but I never have it when I want it.
Plus, also, if you wash your hands a lot, you should be moisturizing.
Yes.
Because,
So we got vinyl textures.
I like vinyl textures.
I do too.
Yeah.
No issue for me. Snoring.
It depends. I can handle like soft snoring, but if somebody's like doing like the loud, like turning into a werewolf, like, you know, wood chipper.
That TikTok sound. Yeah.
That can't do it.
I can't. Snoring for me is like a deal breaker. So keep that in mind if anyone's interested. Babies crying.
Again, depends. If it's on an airplane and I'm stuck on a 12-hour flight, absolutely not 10.
10.
If it's like just a kid in public having a temper tantrum, that's fine. Like, it's not great, but that's fine.
But it's also like you can put headphones in.
Yeah, and also like they're a little kid. Like, they don't understand that they're being noisy. They're not doing it to cause problems.
No, but it's like usually when I'm in public, the babies crying is stacking on top of being in public, which is already stressful.
Yeah.
Clothing tags, we already discussed that one. Yeah. Things in teeth.
10. Instantly.
I'm going to say like 7.
I get a lot of, because I eat a lot of popcorn. I get a lot of popcorn kernels stuck in my teeth. Those are actually the devil. I hate them.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like, those specifically 10. Metal on metal.
Don't love it.
No, I don't love it either.
Yeah. It depends. If it's scraping, can't do it.
Oh my God. My flatmate was
We're just gonna talk smack about
metal spoon and like a metal bowl last night, but they also had headphones on, so it was like
metal on ceramic as well. Bad.
Yeah, terrible. We don't like that one at all. Microfiber cloths.
Love them, honestly.
Me too.
Yeah. I don't love the feeling of them on certain other fabrics, like on silk and things like that.
What about velvet?
I don't. Expensive, nice velvet, I like. The cheap stuff that from like the early 2000s that all the dresses were made of for ages.
Yeah. Not your thing? All right, we have like 1 minute, so let's do the other one. Styrofoam.
Bad.
I'm impartial. I don't
Oh, okay.
mind.
Me and styrofoam are enemies.
Pet cleaning.
Themselves.
It's not great.
I don't love it.
Yeah, but like people chewing is worse. Cold pool.
That's fine.
I don't like it. If it's too cold, I probably won't go in. Or touching wet food.
10. I can't do the dishes. I have to be the one that puts them away. I can't be the one that washes them. If I touch wet food, I'll vomit.
Wear gloves, babe.
I will at some point. I keep forgetting, though.
Yeah, like having cleaning gloves is like a lifesaver, especially for like your skin, because obviously like the detergent and stuff.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was our little deep dive into some sensory overload type thingies. So, thank you very much for joining us, and we will see you
in the next one.
Yeah.
And that's a wrap for today. Diversity Dispatch airs fortnightly on Thursdays at 5 p.m. So if you like today's episode, then be sure to join us in a couple of weeks for the next installment on OAR FM.
And check out the podcast on oar.org.nz and your favourite podcast platforms. Tune in for more chill chats, fun facts, and upcoming local events on Diversity Dispatch.
This podcast was produced by OAR FM Dunedin with support from New Zealand On Air.